welcome back. We're chatting.
You didn't give them the instructions. They didn't know what to do. They're just out there, the audience.
You're saying that, and the people at home don't know what you're talking about.
They do too. We're talking about the audience. Dan always tells the audience to clap when he claps, so there's like background noise. You prep the audience.
And I forgot to.
You didn't, and they didn't get excited. We were busy talking about the Facebook page. We have a Facebook page.
We do have a Facebook. We have two of those. Two Facebook pages.
Why do we have two?
Well, I started one for 726, the 726 talk show. And actually the one in Harrison and the one in Mount Homer combined. So whenever
that's why I started saying, aren't we both 726?
Right. So when there are new guests that come on the show, I pre-warn everybody that's on our Facebook page of the guests that are going to be on, and then I say after their appearance. After their appearance, you can watch their individual segments. See, we put everything up on YouTube.
I know we put everything up on YouTube so that people can go and look at it.
And then recently we started a homepage for Hometown TV, and Ian and I and Gil, we all put things on there. So it's pretty comprehensive. I mean,
friend us on Facebook, folks.
Yeah, that's good.
But Dan was complaining that I had never friended. We're not friends on Facebook.
We are not.
I never get on Facebook, though.
Do you have a certain number of friends you could tell us about?
I have no idea how many. I don't pay attention. I really don't ever look at it. And last night there was a special on Facebook on like MSNBC or whatever, and it's creepy how much of our personal information is out there on the web. It's really creepy. You know, the people that can find you and then stalk people on it.
Yeah.
When I got on, like I said, a couple of years ago, because a bunch of old high school friends did, and for about a month it interested me. And since then, I logged on in December, logged on again about the middle of February, and logged on the other day because I got a friend request from one of my old students that I hadn't seen in forever. So that's cool to see pictures. And I found out that one of my girlfriends is going to be a grandmother because the thing popped up. But I don't really visit on it.
Well, I go on every now and then. And I'm not like you. I have spurts where I go on. And of course, when you have a business and you're putting things up there all the time, then you have to be there.
Well, that's different. That's different than just cruising it and things like that. So.
And then the more people you become friends with, the more they tell people, and because we do a lot of interviews, people want us to know what's going on in their life. So I'm friends with a lot of different people that have been on the show before. So that's helpful too.
I hadn't thought about that. Well, like they said, there's a big issue about like people think it's private. Nothing. Trust me, nothing you put on the internet is private. I don't care what anybody says. Because it's like, well, only my friends can see it. But then, if you're one of my friends, then you can see it, and then so can all your friends. And
that's
then
where the wall comes in.
Yeah, and it just and Facebook's in a lot of trouble for their whole privacy thing. It's where there's no such thing. It's all out there.
There's a section called the wall, and then if you write anything, it's going to end up there, so everyone can see.
Everyone can see it everywhere. Yeah, so that creeps me out.
You're pretty private about things.
Not really.
As I've heard.
Well, weirdly so. Certain things. I mean, to quote unquote be on television and be as gregarious as I can be. But there are certain things I just don't think are anyone's business. I just kind of think there's really no reason to visit about things like that. But I don't know. I'm not real keen on people knowing where my house is. That's kind of weird. But I'm real particular about who. If somebody says where do you live, I'm particular about who I tell.
Talking about the internet, you can type in your phone number, your cell phone number.
Oh, and the little
and it will show you exactly where that's at.
Yeah, the Google Earth map thing comes down, and you can see some ones that you're parked in your. Oh, yeah, that's creepy. That's I used to know a guy a long time ago, and he worked for the government. He said, "Man, I can hit a couple of computer buttons and find out if you ever wore braces, Sandy." It's crazy how much information's out there.
I don't know if your cell phone has, but some cell phones
they track you.
GPS.
Yes, now mine has a GPS system, and they can track you. But I got one of those new Garmin things for my car, that talks to me. Courtney got me one, and it's great because I used it when I was in Fayetteville a couple weeks ago, and it guided me down. I used it when I was in Little Rock and all that kind of. But can I show something off? I'm dying to show it off to everybody at home, and I'll probably get all kinds of bad press. But I'm showing this off. That's why I brought my purse here. I'm showing this off. Last Sunday, I went to Little Rock, and I ran in the Little Rock Marathon.
Yeah?
Yeah, and all my running friends are going to just die because one of my friends asked me why my time was so slow. She said, did you miss one of your long runs? I missed all of my long runs. Since December, I've done 2 12-mile runs, period. I ran 43 total miles in January and 37 total miles in February, where I usually run 40 to 50 miles. So I wasn't going to go. So I wasn't going to go do this marathon that I signed up for. But my girlfriend, Gail, thank you, Gail Rhodes, my best buddy, she said, what are you afraid of? Who cares if you walk every step? I said, it'll be a disaster. I'm so out of shape. I can't do this. And she said, what if you walk every step? It won't matter. And so I went down to all my running buddies who are concerned about times. It didn't matter. I never looked at my Garmin, I promise you. I just jogged and I danced and I clapped and I carried on, and it was worth all 26.2 miles because I have to show you guys something if I haven't lost it already. Let me dig. As a woman, I dig. Okay, this, for an example, you have to do it this way. This is the medal that I got, hold up like this, when I did Memphis a couple years ago. This is your typical medal that you get for running marathons.
Right.
This is the Little Rock one, and this is why people run Little Rock. Ta-da! Look at this, folks. Marion's over here. My girlfriend Marion's here, too. This is it. It weighs 18 ounces, and it spins. And so afterwards, this guy said, man, when I found out it spun, I knew I had to have me one of those. And so 26.2 miles later, they passed these out the finish line. You're jealous, aren't you, Dan?
No, not really.
Courtney says he's going to use it as a boat anchor. I should wear it all day like this. It's huge, except it's going to weigh me down. But that's what I got at the end of the race. I had a ball. I ran for the joy of running, didn't pay attention to how fast or slow I went.
This was before you stopped running, right? Or slowed down running. Is this what you just...
Yeah, this Sunday, as in 3 days ago.
I didn't catch that, folks.
3 days ago, I did this, but I hadn't run. I wasn't prepared, and so I didn't. My time was slow, but I don't care. I ran, and I had such a good time, and this is what they gave me for all that effort. Is that not groovy? So now everybody wants to run the Little Rock Marathon next year because it's so big. But that's what I had to show off. Everybody knows I run, so it's not that big a deal. But the medal is bodacious. It's absolutely bodacious. It's huge. So I had to show that off.
Good. Well, I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you. I'm proud of me, too. It was a lot of fun.
That's a large medal.
It's
just
huge.
for what it is. You would think that...
26.2 miles, you deserve a large medal. Daniel.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Big one. And Marion will get a kick out of this. Everybody goes, did you win? I've said, professional runners. And Mary and I play tennis together. And I always say, that would be like me entering a professional tennis tournament and you saying, did you win? No, I didn't win. I said, the woman who won beat me by 2 hours.
How big was her trophy?
The same size, but she got a $2,000 check.
Okay.
Because there are she's a professional. The people that win these things are professional runners. That's what they do for a living. They win races.
Was she from Arkansas?
Yes. Well, originally she's from Minnesota. It's Leah Thorvaldson, Arkansas's best. She enters every race. She's in the Olympic. She qualified for the Olympic trials. That's how fast. I mean, she's an Olympic caliber runner. So, and then there are people like me who are just, and I was slow even for me. I mean, this was a slow race even by my standards, but it was the most fun one I've ever run, of any distance. Because there was no
pressure?
There's no pressure. I knew I wasn't going to run well, so I just jogged along and I talked to people and waved and danced to the music and high-fived people as I went up the street and just had a ball. Absolute ball. And there was a gentleman. Just as we were coming up that last hill by Stevens Corp at mile 25. You hit that hill, if you guys know where Stevens is down there in Little Rock. It's this hill like this on mile 25. And this woman beside me said, you've got to be kidding me. I said, no, but once we get to the top of this one, it's downhill. And there was this gentleman, a very large gentleman, that was he was just barely trucking, and he had been going since 6 o'clock at the early start as we had caught up with him. And he was just barely shuffling on, but he was moving forward. And we got there, even with this guy, by the time he hit mile 25, and he started crying. And he said, oh my goodness. He said, I'm going to make it. And he started crying. I mean, tears of joy, folks. It wasn't like, oh dear. And it was, I mean, everybody was just applauding and woo, you go, buddy, and all that. And so for somebody like that, that's a life-changing experience.
Sure. And that moment probably meant more to him than the medal.
Well, and then you have these people who like zero body fat, and they're impressive because they work hard and make a lot of sacrifices. Then you have someone like that, just a regular guy who said, I'm going to see if I can, put my body through this.
Yeah,
and he started crying. He was crying. I mean, my daughter Ashley said, Mommy was weeping for joy. And he was. He said, I'm going to make it.
And he worked harder than you did.
He worked a lot harder than all of us. I mean, it was great.
He should have got the medal.
Well, he did. Everybody who finishes gets a medal.
Well, good.
If you stagger across that line, even at a crawl, they'll give it to you.
They?
I don't know how many were in the marathon. They had like 11,000 total in the half and the full. So about 11,000 runners.
A lot of medals.
There was a lot of medals. There was a lot of people.
Wow.
It was pretty crowded. The governor went by the governor's mansion. He was not running, but he was waving to us.
So you're going to have a curio case with that?
I told Courtney we had to build a room on.
Have to build a room.
I said, there's not a room in this house large enough to properly display this hardware, so we need to build a room on it. So anyway, but he was laughing. He thinks I'm crazy. He thinks it's crazy to run that far, but it was cool. I enjoyed it. Like I said, most fun I've ever had at a race. It was a lot of fun.
It's all about having fun.
It is. I just jogged along and enjoyed it. Weather was nice. About 39 we started, about 55 when we finished. It was great. I enjoyed it. Good. So I've been showing off my boat anchor. Isn't that cool? Because everybody, because you show the first one, they go, oh, that's nice. This is what they give. I said, but look what Little Rock gave me.
Yeah. Almost gaudy, really.
It is. That's what some people said. Oh, yeah, it's just over the top. It's almost humiliating to wear that. I said, I don't think so. I'll show it to everybody. So then I went and had a big steak when it was over with. I always go have a big steak when I'm
amazing.
done.
All right.
And I have something to drink, but I'll keep that to myself.
Well, you know what I've got in this case here?
It's not as big as my medal.
I bet you there's more that's more valuable than your medal.
It is more valuable than my medal. I'm sure my medal's like tenfold.
I don't know if people can see,
okay.
but the first segment we have, I may have locked that. I'm not sure if I did. Hello.
There it is. Let me move this silly.
This
I've
is
been wanting to
full
get rid of that
of,
for years anyway.
This is silverware, and we have some gold and some old watches and some old
You
coins.
sound amazed, Dan. I saw that when I came in.
Amazed?
You sound amazed like it's still there. You think somebody's going to walk off with it?
No,
I'm unplugged here.
I didn't know really what was in there, to
Okay.
tell you the truth. But in our first segment, we're going to be talking to Janice Hall from the Ohio Valley Gold and Silver Refinery, and they've got an event coming up right here.
And I tell you that this is big.
Talking about
You
that.
hear all the time on the news about gold and silver.
Yeah, and I think
Buying and
gold
selling.
today is a record high.
Silver's
so,
like $39, $37, $39. I don't know
that's
what gold
nothing
is.
to sneeze about,
No.
but gold is at the highest it's ever been, and they're going to be here talking about what they're going to be doing at an event coming up real soon.
Well, cool.
And
cool.
then
You're
also-
taking your gold fillings out, won't you, Dan?
I don't think I've got any
Yeah,
gold.
they don't do that anymore, do
They don't
they?
do that. Not
No.
not for me, no.
No, I got like we have no telling.
Yeah.
Tin, alloy, who knows what's in there?
And then Lori Adkins and Marion O'Leary is going to be here for.
Well, Lori's not.
Oh, that's
looking
right.
like
I'm
she
sorry.
Usually looks.
We
I
wrote that
started to
down.
say I think she.
Who did we write down for them?
If Lori's on today.
Ken Rhodes is here.
Ken Rhodes,
In
okay,
his
that's
place,
better,
in
yeah.
her place. And they're going to be here talking about Champions of Justice from the Serenity House. And then later
You're
on,
very good, Daniel.
I'm very good at what?
Well, reading.
Well, I wrote it.
I know. That's even
That's why
better.
I'm taking my chances reading my own writing instead
I
of
know.
yours.
I know. I don't write anymore.
Mike Tipton's here with Joe Hansen with the 14th annual Salbug Roundup.
Notice I have my
Oh,
cup.
wow, you got the
I
cups to
purposely
match.
went and got my Sal Bug Roundup cup.
Is that why you did that?
I did. I had to wash it out. I had soap bubbles in
And
it.
then they're not here, but
They will be here,
they're
we
coming
hope.
a little bit later. Hopefully they'll be riding their Gold Wing. But up last on the show is Roy and Pam.
Motorcycle people.
Yes,
okay,
motorcycle
I
pier.
saw that. Somebody race. I assumed
Gold
it
Wing
was motorcycles.
Road Riders.
Very good.
We'll talk
Very
about
good.
that. Well, that's it.
Well, I think that's enough to entice people.
Thank you for updating us with your
My hardware, my
your
metal hardware.
And speaking of hardware, we're going to be talking about the gold and silver type of hardware and treasures you may have at your home. Up next, right after this, we're going to be talking to Janice Hall. Stay with us.
What a segue.